The United States taking on Jamaica, and of course Mexico taking on Panama to decide who we'll see in the third ever final for the CONCACAF Nations League. What's going on, guys? Matty G back here with you on Football with Flags, and as you can see, things looking a little bit different as well. Apologies for the delay in content. Got a lot of different moving parts right now, and of course this is not the finished product by any means, what you guys are going to see moving forward, but it is certainly a work in progress. But without further ado, let's get to these predictions on these semifinals. So here we go with semifinal number one, the United States taking on Jamaica. The U.S. have had 3 wins out of the last 5 appearances between these two sides. Of course, remember, Jamaica had a really good opportunity of winning that game in the Gold Cup group stage opener last summer in Chicago, and really honestly should have taken the 3 points considering how well they played. The U.S. have been fortunate to take a point out of that. I believe Brendan Vasquez scored the goal, the equalizer in that one. But again, these two sides played to a 1-1 draw in their last World Cup qualifier. Timothy Weah scoring in the 11th minute, Antonio for Jamaica scoring in the 22nd. These two sides, I believe, both were playing 4-3-3s at the time of that World Cup qualifier as well. Keep in mind, though, during that World Cup qualifier, of course, Tyler Adams and Pepe did start. But again, at that point as well, Damari Gray was not a part of this Jamaican national team, and we know how important he has become to this side ever since he did join last year. So a really pivotal piece. Of course, I believe Leon Bailey's not going to be with this group going into this semifinal. Of course, obviously duties with this club side. And again, Jamaica missing a few other key pieces as well, I think is going to be very important. But for the United States, they cannot overlook this by any means. This is still a Jamaican side that's going to be very excited to play in this game, very hungry for an opportunity to go play for a title for this Nations League 3rd edition. But in terms of the game itself, I think the United States really need to take care of the half spaces against Jamaica, continue to combine, whether it's give and goes, third man runs, get the ball to the end line, look to drive in, find space through those half spaces as best as they possibly can, considering the speed that they do have out on the wings. But of course, their midfield play, being able to control the tempo with Tyler Adams, Weston McKennie, other guys, it's going to be very, very important as well. Andre Blake's going to have to play, have a phenomenal game, make 2, 3, 4 big-time saves throughout these 90 minutes, in my opinion. But for Jamaica, I think they just need to be able to find space in between the lines of the United States, especially between their midfield and their back line. I think that's going to be very important for them to create opportunities, especially off the United States when they do clear the ball or try to possess out of the back. I think Jamaica should press a little bit more than maybe some people believe, just because I think that they could turn the U.S. over and really look to exploit them on the counter if they're able to take advantage of those opportunities, especially if the U.S. do open the space up, try and get wide, create a lot of width with their possession. If they're able to turn the United States over, that could lead to some really good opportunities. But at the end of the day, I am going to pick the United States to go through. I think, again, this Jamaican side, maybe not 100%. Really love what this team looks like going forward, though, beyond this. And again, great opportunity for them this summer as well in Copa America. Now on to semifinal number 2, Mexico taking on Panama, and this, again, remember, is a rematch of the Gold Cup final that we had last summer. Of course, Panama defeating the U.S. in a penalty shootout in the semifinal, getting to this point, and really had a great summer. Again, we've talked before about Panama qualifying for the World Cup in 2018. Obviously, they didn't get the results that they wanted, but still felt like they were going in the right direction. Well, they started to fall off a little bit. It felt like the few years past that, and really trying to get back up into that type of form that they were in before. Obviously, there's been some changes in terms of roster, guys retiring, young players coming in, different things like that. But for Panama, they really played pretty decently against Mexico in this final, and were just unfortunate to give that goal away late. Both sides had some really good chances. It's kind of shocking that it was only 1-0 in terms of the final, but I think Panama really need to be cheeky with their play, whether it's free kicks, corners, throw-ins, different things like that. Really just try and catch Mexico off guard in as many ways as possible, because Mexico, with the crowd that they're going to have, the environment that they're going to try and instill in this game, the momentum they're going to try and carry from the first whistle, Panama have got to find a way to slow that tempo down, create their own momentum in as many ways as possible with this game, as well as if it is going through with the dark arts, and of course having some time wasting here and there, taking their challenges, being smart with their decisions, whether it's in possession, again, like I said, with free kicks, etc., different things like that. They're just going to have to take Mexico off of their game as much as possible. But Mexico's build up, especially if this game becomes open and it's, both sides are being able to use all the space on the field, I think that plays into Mexico's hand. Of course, we know Mexico's going to want to counter and go after them, probably press fairly high as well at a lot of times when they get the opportunity if Panama try and play from out of the back. But again, Panama just can't have any cheap giveaways in their own half, but at the same time, they've got to be really smart with their 1v1 defending, both in the midfield and in their back four. I think that's going to be very pivotal because we know Mexico are going to want to take players on, try and beat them, try and create some overloads in different places, and then look to expose Panama in that sense. They've just got to be smart with that 1v1 defending. Defend as a unit, make sure that they don't, lose their men, don't get crossed over or anything like that, be able to track their runners appropriately. Because again, I think Panama are going to be able to get some decent chances in this game. And as we talked before, their goalkeeper had a really solid performance in the Gold Cup. It was a bit unfortunate. He just had a bad angle on that goal that Mexico scored to wind up winning in the final. And Panama is going to want to come out and try and get some redemption on Mexico as well, but we'll have to wait and see if they're able to do so. Mexico did play with a 4-3-3 in that game, I believe, and Panama with a 3-4-3. We'll see if they come out in similar styles, but at the end of the day, considering the crowd, considering the momentum that Mexico are starting to build back up with, again, the disappointing run that they've had as of late, winning that Gold Cup last summer was huge. I think they're going to build off of that, and I do believe we'll see Mexico in the final for this third edition. Well, guys, as always, thank you again so much for your support. Really appreciate your patience as well through this whole process, trying to get back into the swing of things after missing several weeks. So again, we're going to try and pump out as much content as possible going forward, getting back on track. Make sure you guys hit that like and subscribe button if you haven't already done so. And please let us know down in the comments as well who you're rooting for, who you are predicting in these semifinals, as we're going to have more hopefully on this as the weekend unfolds. But guys, thanks again so much. Really appreciate everything, and we'll see you soon. Peace.